for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Discourse, all about the discourse. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. My bad. What's up, boys?
Oh,
wow.
Please, not so early.
No more of that, please.
Oh.
We're saving that until
never. We're saving that until never.
Second half of the show. I will not be playing the song. Because Miss Stenberg is copywriting everybody that she can.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Videos are being taken down.
Not surprised.
Yeah. Neither am I. When I covered it, it was 10-second clips or less, and then I paused. So she can't copyright this one, but yeah, that is absolutely crazy. Everybody, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. We have quite a bit to talk about. We're going to talk about some other Star Wars news besides just the Acolyte. I know many of you want to get into that, but that's been everywhere. It's been all over the place. It's all everybody's talking about. We're going to give you some Star Wars updates. Not that necessarily the updates are good updates, but we're going to give you the updates, and then we're going to just move right along. And we will be getting to the Acolyte. We will be having member pop-ins. You will be able to come into the show later on, members, and give your take on all of this stuff. We will be getting to Stenberg's video and what we think about the Acolyte and the current state on Rotten Tomatoes and all of that. But we're going to go through a lot of other things first, so just be aware of that. We will be going there. As always, guys, there are 4 ways that you can support us here on the channel. You can become one of our channel members. You can join us over on Patreon. Had all kinds of new people join us there where we got documentaries, audiobooks. You could watch the complete episodes of The Acolyte and everything else Star Wars over there with us. Got all kinds of new shirts in the merch store. I just ordered 3 yesterday for myself. And any and all super chats we greatly appreciate very, very much. I present to you the team here, minus Nick. He is on the way home. Had some important things go down today. He's not going to be able to make the stream today. I don't know if we'll be having an EBN cast tomorrow. More on that. He probably is in chat, so he'll probably say something eventually. But, yeah, I just don't know. So anyways, right here at the top of the show, brothers, thank you for being here. How are you doing? Rissman, we'll start with you. How's it going?
It's going real good, Coach. Always happy to be here on a Thursday night, looking at all the great people here in chat. And I have to shout out the channel. I texted you just a second ago. I took a peek. Just past 41,000 subscribers. And in June alone, 5,500 subscribers have signed on to be a part of the family. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Love every one of y'all. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining.
That says couch.
It does stick out. That's your picture, though.
That is my picture, though. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, Nick and I aren't really like, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that very much. DA, what about you, man? It's been a crazy week.
Yeah, it's been a great week. And just like you guys passed a milestone, I did as well. I crossed 15,000 subs. So thank you very much, everyone, for your support. Yeah, it's been a whale of a week, man. A whole lot of just madcap adventures going on, man. It's been a lot of fun, though. I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah, it has been quite the adventure. There's a lot to talk about. And look, we're halfway done with the Acolyte. We're halfway there.
And the half that we have left, we don't know nothing about, Coach.
Nobody knows anything other than, be careful now, we're going right into the Acolyte. Episode 5 is apparently Leslie Headland's favorite episode of the series.
That is true. I
also think that the writer who came out on Twitter, she said they wrote episodes 4 and 5 together. So I guess this is supposed to be maybe a continuation of the last episode. So we know we're not going to get any weird time jump, or maybe we will. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like we'll be getting some sort of a flashback or time jump. It's just going to go straight into what happens after the scene that we just saw.
Yes.
So, you know, that'll be interesting. See how they finish this thing off.
Star Wars Mom, you behave yourself out there.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, gentlemen, let's go ahead and roll right into it. If this is your first Echo Base Network live stream, welcome aboard, guys. Thank you very much for being here. We've got 517 right now. Numbers have been up because everybody's talking about the Acolyte. It's hot right now. Everybody's wanting to talk about it. And it's not because it's good. Yeah. This is pretty straightforward the worst Star Wars we've ever gotten. And everybody's tuning in for it, you know. But the thing is, and I don't mean tuning in to watch the show; they're tuning in to watch the train wreck.
Yeah,
you know. Right. And here's one thing. This has been really funny, as I don't know. This probably came from Disney or something. I have no idea. I'm just saying. But have you guys noticed this whole Operation Positivity in the last 24 hours? These Disney Star Wars fans, these shills, and you know, I'm glad they like it. Sure, whatever. Well, whatever. You do you. I got no problem with it. Okay. But they're like, there's no place for hate in my community, and we're all about love and rainbows and big fluffy teddy bears. And everything's fine here. Everything's fine. If you don't like it, just don't watch, okay? Okay. There's no place for hate. What? They're taking these things so personally, dog. It's laughable how personally they're... Look, they think we're mad. We're not.
We're laughing.
We're laughing.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is comedy.
the problem is we tipped over the line a long time ago where any criticism is automatically equated to hate, depending on the circumstance and the audience and sort of where you find yourself, just conversing about it. And I think that's always, to me, the sad part of this. I think I froze.
You did freeze. Say it again.
Yep. I was going to say, I think that's the saddest part of the story to me. It's that you can't even converse about it. First, if you have anything critical to say, conversation's over.
Yeah, you can't criticize, you can't critique, and if you have a difference of opinion right now, you are a slew of names and you're my enemy. And wow. I mean,
yeah. I mean, Amandla Stenberg is in the news for all of the royal reasons right now. Her little diss track that she threw out to all the Star Wars fans, basically upset because she's sitting at 14%. And I understand why she's mad. I would be mad too if I signed on for this garbage only for it to turn out to be some 14%. I would be very upset. But don't get mad at us. Get mad at the people that roped you into this thing. Get mad at Leslie Headland for not understanding the franchise well enough to write a good series. Get mad at her. Don't get mad at me.
We didn't make it bad.
No. We're just reacting. That's it. We're reacting to what it is that we're seeing. And that's it.
And the people who are loving all this right now, they are trying to paint a picture right now as if we do this every time a Star Wars show comes out. That's not true. That's not true.
I give everything a chance.
This has never happened before, where a Star Wars show has scored this low. There's a reason for it, because this is the worst. This is the worst it's ever been. But they are on a string of bad shows, pretty much. Andor was a great, misnomer, I guess. But anyways, so look, we're going to talk about some things that are not Acolyte related. We're going to lead up to that stuff. We're going to take a little bit of a break from that, but we will be getting there. So we're opening the show with a lot of you guys. We like to start with these little ones. So Jedi Survivor, the second part of Cal Kestis's story. That game came out on the latest generation of consoles, PS5. Now, as they're working on the third game, they are actually working on releasing that game on the older generation consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One. So the people who only have those, you will be able to play some Star Wars, and I hope that you enjoy that. Any thoughts about that before we just keep on rolling?
I had forgotten they were doing it until I came across this article, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll give it a try. It wasn't great at the first one, but maybe I'll give this one a try.
Oh, I'm terrible at them, but they're fun to watch. Yeah. Something else that's coming to an end, and a lot of fans will probably rejoice over this. However, I got to tell you, I read like the first 20 comic book series in the Darth Vader series, and I enjoyed them. They were good. They were well done. Now, did it change some canon? Did it weave some threads in there that were kind of like in between the stories? Yeah. They did. We get to see more dialogue between Darth Vader and Luke. Now, here's what's interesting about this. As the Star Wars, the main run of Star Wars, and Darth Vader, they're two flagship stories. Those are coming to an end, and they are moving away from the era. They haven't released the era that they're going to, but it will not be the Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi era, and that's the setting of these stories. Does that mean anything? Not really. It's just comics. They could always come back to those, but if these comics are your cup of tea, if you've enjoyed them, then they are coming to an end, and just know that that's happening. Comments or thoughts there, gentlemen?
I mean,
I haven't read the series, so I can't really comment on it. But
so the Darth Vader comic is where we first get Black Chrysanthemum, the bounty hunter Wookiee that we saw. A lot of cool stuff. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Boba Fett was in it. They're out, on mission trying to hunt Luke down. Luke goes back to Obi-Wan's home. He's looking through his books. I mean, there's a lot of really cool story threads. I've said threads twice now. This is kind of wild. But anyways, I thought you guys might like that. Now, continue to move on here. Will Bryce Dallas Howard ever direct a Star Wars movie? She had some interesting comments about this when asked. She says, well, I wish so. So what I'll say is that I'm doing an episode of Skeleton Crew, which I'm super excited about. I went to college with John Watts and his writing partner in this, Chris Ford, and so that was very exciting to get to do that. And I love, again, for the children in the audience, I'll be mindful, I sometimes characterize myself in a professional sense as a dominant submissive. What that means is that I'm very happy to go and play in someone else's sandbox and be part of a team and to be kind of a vessel for someone else's vision and try to kind of execute their vision with great enthusiasm as if it was my own. And then I also really love to work with a team and be kind of a team captain. I enjoy that. I have strength in that area. I love filmmaking. I love directing. And so I would absolutely love to direct a Star Wars film. I would absolutely love to have a Star Wars show. She did talk about how she is directing an episode or two of Skeleton Crew. So she's not going away. Now, guys, the franchise is in such bad shape. I think it might be best for Bryce Dallas Howard to probably consider trying to direct something else other than a Star Wars movie. I'm not sure how many Star Wars movies we're going to be getting. Thoughts on this?
I have to say, I found the more interesting part of that article to be where she talked about Skeleton Crew and Jon Favreau's involvement with the series, and the fact that he was a very active participant in what was going on there and coming to set and just really being involved. Of course, he has a longtime friendship and professional relationship with John Watts. Not super surprising, but just interesting that he would invest some time there. I don't know if he's got a producing credit on the show or not. I don't remember. But that was, to me, more exciting than her potentially coming to film. Because I agree with you, Coach. I think everyone is going to be very leery of coming to film, especially waiting to see what does happen with Mandalorian and Grogu first.
So speaking of Skeleton Crew, her quote is, he kind of knew how great John Watts was and really entrusted him with this, talking about Favreau. But it was wonderful because Jon Favreau was there every single day. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect for Jon Favreau to be there every day, not on his own set, technically. So it does say something that he's still around, that he's still involved. But man, it's almost like Jon Favreau has been cobwebbed over the last couple years when he was riding such a high and the fandom had hope in Favreau, and he's all but vanished. And Filoni,
well, he's still doing Mando and Grogu, right? And I guess yes. Are they coming up on the point when they're going to get ready to start shooting that, or have they started?
Supposed to have started. Whether it really did or not, I don't know. But it was on the docket. I haven't heard any.
Yeah. I was just curious about that because, I mean, it is like, okay, it was him that kind of saved Star Wars after the Rise of Skywalker. And so, like kept it alive with the Mandalorian. So yeah, if there's anybody left that you kind of hope might still be involved, it's him. But I don't have a whole lot of hope after Mando season 3, because of what they did with Mando season 3. I'm like, well, he did that as well. He gave us, Lizzo. I mean, he gave us the nonsense that we got out of that. So I'm, regardless of that, just going back to Bryce Dallas Howard, hey, I felt like this a long time ago. If you can get Bryce Dallas Howard, you might get Ron Howard to help out a little bit. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want his little girl to come into the Star Wars franchise and fall flat on her face, So bringing him in would also kind of be cool. I know he did Solo. He kind of stepped in at the last minute and he really didn't, deliver the goods there. But at least I trust Ron Howard's, pedigree over the course of the last, 40 to 50 years of filmmaking. But yeah, I'm with you, Coach. I'm staying far away from the Lucasfilm. I mean, they haven't done anything. They haven't gotten Indiana Jones right. They didn't get Willow right, and they sure as heck haven't done anything with Star Wars. So, like, what's the point? At this point, you're just spinning your wheels. Go ahead.
And also remember, whether it's Bryce Dallas Howard, whether it's Jon Favreau, whether it's John Watts, these are all just contractors for all intents and purposes, right? They come in for a job, for a gig, right? They do what they're contracted to do, and they normally go away. Right, that's the other reason why seeing Jon Favreau there with any regularity, unless he's attached to it, again, producer or otherwise, he was truly just there because he wanted to hang out, right? He wasn't getting paid there.
Yeah.
Right. So one thing that she did say, this will be the last thing that we say about it. I want to kind of highlight this. And this is, I don't know if she has to say this, but this says something. Her words are, let me pull it up so everybody can see it. So there is a cohesiveness to the storytelling with Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Mandalorian, and with Boba Fett. That is wonderful, and because of that, it's not the wheel every single time, meaning you don't have to reinvent the wheel, I'm guessing. And so there are able to be these moments where, John has been bringing Phil Tippett in since the absolute beginning. I mean, he helped design the Purge in my episode for Boba Fett. And so just getting to do that more and more and more has been really remarkable. I don't see a whole lot. Look, the cohesiveness is that they're across the board, they're pretty bad. That's the cohesion. She's playing really nice. She has to. But like as a fan sitting there looking at that, there's this cohesiveness to the storytelling with Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Mandalorian, and Boba Fett. I guess there is. They're all related in some kind of way. But
it's the Mandoverse, right?
That's but that doesn't make me feel better.
They've been putting together.
I'm with you, but I also think we're going to start to see them as the Acolyte continues to be what it is and begins to wrap up, and they need to try and salvage something for what's coming forward. They're going to begin to distance themselves and say, hey, remember what's coming had nothing to do with what you're watching. Right? It's not in this. It's not in this time frame. It's not with these characters. It's not. I mean, they can't come out and say that, right? But we're going to begin to get reminded, I guarantee you, very, very quickly about what's coming, because everybody cares about what's here now for all the wrong reasons, in their opinion, because it sucks so bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to be doing themselves any favors by reminding us of Ahsoka and Book of Boba Fett either. I mean, everything that they've done so far, they need a hit. Okay, they need a win in the worst possible way right now. They better hope the Skeleton Crew is at least watchable, because like the last three things that we've gotten, it have just been, wait, maybe the last two. I know Mando's
in 3 and Ahsoka.
It's been a long time since Andor now.
Yeah, I mean, they better hope that this Skeleton Crew thing is a home run, or at least a double. If this thing is another strikeout, man, I think everybody's just people are already checking out. I think they'll really be done. They will really be done if Skeleton Crew isn't up to snuff. So yeah, they need a win so badly right now.
And of all the shows, DA, Skeleton Crew is the one that I would say that the fans have the least amount of interest in.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the premise of the show and what it's about. That's not Ahsoka. That's not Mandalorian. That's not Boba Fett. What? Who are these people? They're giving us we laugh and we call it babysitters in space. Well, until it's not, that's what it is. And we know that the pirates are going to be in it. Those weren't very compelling characters for a lot of people.
I just wanted to be fun to watch, right? I'm so
I agree
tired
with
of
that.
I'm so tired of
Yeah.
watching all this dour stuff that all it does is it's just not fun, right?
Yeah.
There's
That's what's missing from the Acolyte.
Yeah.
I know we ain't supposed to talk about it yet, but that's
No,
really
go
what's
ahead.
missing from the Acolyte. Fun.
It's fun
Have
watching
fun
it
with
because
Star
it's
Wars.
so hideous.
Yeah. It's like they
But the
couldn't have
show's
they couldn't
not
do
fun.
anything. No,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God. Yeah,
Everyone seems very sad. Even the Jedi who are supposed to be very happy in this time period, they just seem very sad.
You remember the old Empire of Dreams documentary that came out in like 99 or whenever it was, 97, somewhere in there. There was a politician or somebody interviewed, and he was talking about Star Wars over the years. And the last thing he said, he looked in the camera and he said, and Star Wars is just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you want. And look, I'm
Boy,
not saying
they've
that,
lost that.
I'm not saying that, there's obviously a murder mystery. They're trying to solve it. There's Jedi getting offed. Okay, that's not fun. But, I mean, do something for us. Like I said, they could have put that Kel Naka dark side guy lightsaber fight in the show. They could have done that, and that would have been fun. Like, we would have had fun watching that. Like, all right, we got Kel Naka. They got a Wookiee Jedi, and they wasted it. Because
a Wookiee Jedi.
I mean, like everybody was like, well, that's interesting. Let's see what they do. Off-screen death. It's just, oh my golly, man. It's like we can't enjoy anything in this, because they don't know how to tell stories that might energize and excite Star Wars fans. There are so many different things that they could have done just in this last episode. I mean, I will say this. This last episode was the, I guess, least offensive of the 4 episodes that I've seen so far. And that's not praise at all. It's just, it is the least offensive, but it's also the most boring. And that's the part I'm talking about. Like, we got to enjoy this. Okay. We can't just watch a wall of text being read to us by 2 characters standing in a hallway. And then we're going to move to 2 characters walking across a field. And then we're going to move to 2 other characters standing in a hallway again. I mean, come on, guys. Are you kidding me? This is the level of writing that, cost $180 million? Like, sheesh.
Well, and then they put the little, what was supposed to be the little cute tracker thing in there, the Tyrion, whatever it was. And not only did the only purpose was for it to track, they lost it, right? And then it shrieked in such a way that I never wanted to hear it ever talk again, right? It's like you take the one thing that's supposed to be like the comic relief, the cute little thing or whatever, and you make it so annoying that I never want to see it again.
Yeah. Yep.
DA, serious question, my friend. Do you know what the brown gerbil said to the white gerbil?
I do not.
You must be new here.
So bad. So bad.
Dad jokes, man. Dad jokes.
So bad.
Oh. Anyways, that was in the butt. Never mind, everybody.
Bad joke. Bad joke.
Sorry. Try to keep it fun. So,
hey,
all
man, somebody got to make Star Wars fun.
Nothing about the Acolyte is fun. Ahsoka had little sprinkles of fun.
Yeah, at least their cute things were cute.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say.
Well, like a lot of the exposition with Hu Yang and a lot of the the lightsabers going on.
We had a good villain. We had a really good villain.
The show started
at least early
out
on,
well.
good villain. But later on, they just kind of got rid of him. But Balin Skull was a good villain.
It got worse as it went on, for sure.
Yeah, it just got worse as it went on.
The first 3 episodes, I was good. She's on mission. She's going to this temple. It wasn't perfect, but there were some parts of it that was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
knee pain. He gets it.
Hey,
he gets it.
It's your gear.
Hey, brother, good to see you. And he'll be back joining us in the near future, so we're excited about that as well.
Yep.
He was bragging on you, DA, talking about your stream the other night.
Yeah, man, he came on the nightcap. I have a new nightly stream, not nightly, every other night or whenever something interesting happens. We might have one tonight. You never know. Right after this and, maybe later into the evening, you guys are all asleep. You guys are in bed when I'm throwing that thing.
You West Coasters.
9 o'clock. So
well, Nick popped in. Because I guess he works nights. So he
popped
in.
He sleep until 7 in the morning.
Yeah, he was hanging out, not online or not on the stream, but just in the chat, just talking it up and everything like that. But yeah, knee pain came through, so that was fun. So yeah, I'm having a good time with that. That's just something I'm up late a lot anyway, so it just works out. But yeah, he came through, and it was nice having him in.
So John the Beagle Dad does remind me there was an awful lot of standing around with the arms folded. You're right. You're absolutely right. And look, I'm just trying to say, at least Ahsoka was a little bit more fun than what this is. Now, the Book of Boba Fett was, I don't know if fun is the right word.
It was silly.
It was silly and kind of dumb.
Right. Yeah.
Like him dancing in the desert with the Tuscans.
Like
the
Bantha.
Vespas, the guy turning around with the, Star Wars. Look, you know what was fun? What was fun? Cad Bane and the duel in Mando. That was fun.
Cobb Vanth. Mm-hmm.
We need more of that. There wasn't a whole lot of fun in Mando season 3 either. So I agree with you, Risman. They really have gotten away from that. The original trilogy was fun all the way through.
And Mando season 1 and season 2, those, the serial adventure of the week.
Yes.
Just them out doing their thing. Right. Again, I remember at the time, I kept bitching. Okay, the ship's broke again. They got to put gas in the ship. Got to fix it. Looking back at it, bring it, please.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? That's fine.
Bryce Dallas Howard mentioned the cohesiveness between all of the shows. Maybe that's a part of the issue. Maybe it's too big for the storytellers, and they just need to get back to, here's an episode, here's a story, and then we move on to the next one. Mm-hmm. I'm totally down with that. Trying to make everything interconnected is not going well.
No. Well, as soon as that's why. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Risman.
No, I was going to say, as soon as they started taking one big long thing and chopping it up into 8 pieces, I feel like it started going downhill.
Yeah, but see, and that's why Favreau is on set, probably making sure that whatever they're doing is going to fit in with whatever he's doing, and they have they're all on the same page. And here's how these characters, in my opinion, should work. Because he's going to be bringing over, I'm sure, some of these skeleton crew characters ultimately in something that he's doing. I mean, he's the one that kind of shepherded this entire Mando verse. Even though Filoni, I guess, is the guy. Is Filoni writing and directing the supposed Mandoverse ultimate? Is he the writer and the director? Or is Favreau involved at all?
They're doing it together. This was in an interview that this is something I heard because they've been on a prep. I think Ahsoka's up for best drama something in the Emmys, or it's up for some award, and it's in the drama category. So it's led for a lot of Hayden, Rosario, and Filoni talking. And one of the things Filoni talked about recently is his focus on Ahsoka 2 and how he started, his movie, how he's helping John with his movie. And I got the impression that John will be helping him with, they're just kind of doing these movies together. If you believe Filoni's movie ever happens at this point, I think if John doesn't nail his movie, we may never get another Star Wars movie ever again.
Yeah,
man.
Yep, I'm with you guys. Thank you for your patience. We're going to go ahead and roll through some of the member chats and super chats right now. Appreciate you sending those in. We will be very timely as we get through all of those. Sutton Creek Productions has gifted 5 Echo Base Network memberships. So members, please throw up some emojis. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sutton Creek Productions. If you got one of those memberships, please give him a thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Bobby Rogue Sarge with a $20 super chat. Brother, you are a big supporter of us, man. We could not appreciate you more. Can't wait to see you at Icon. He says, hello, everyone at EBN. What shall we talk about this evening? I bet we shocked you because we didn't go right in on the Acolyte. And all about the discourse.
Oh, no, stop it.
My bad. All right, sorry. Anyways, thank you, Bobby. We appreciate you, brother. Jedi Master Lawrence gifted 10 Echo Base Network memberships. If you got one of those, please give her a thank you. You are awesome, Erica. Thank you so much. Venger with a £5 super chat. Hey, Coach, did Disney pay you for your likeness to be used for Basil the Tracker Gerbil?
Whoa. Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Oh man. Oh man.
Dang.
That's
You gonna
cold.
do me
Victor.
like that? All right. Thank you, Venger. That's the last time I will be sending you something over to the UK. Olaf, member for 34 months. Guys, congrats. 41,000 on to 50,000. We are, you are, EBN. Thank you, Olaf. Appreciate you, brother. Couldn't do it without you. It ain't us. It's you. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Debbie Young gifted 5 Echo Base Network memberships as well. That's 20 new members from gifts. That is awesome. So look, later on in the show tonight, when we're done with all of our topics, we're going to switch it over to a members-only live stream, and our grandmasters and masters will be able to join us here for member pop-ins, and they could talk about the Acolyte and what they thought. It's a great time with our community. You will love hearing from these people. They are hilarious, and it's awesome because, like, we all know each other. We're all EBN family at this point. It's wonderful. So come join us. We've had a lot of new faces in there too lately, so it's been pretty awesome. So thank you, Debbie, for that. Showroom Sabers has been a member for 29 months. He says, 29 months, my lord, not been able to get to enough of these live streams, but going to try to make more. Love you all. And just remember, Star Wars is always what we will remember it being, episodes 1 through 6. We always say it, brother. Showroom Sabers is absolutely right. They can never take away what we love, the Star Wars that we love. That this channel is about being critical when need be, and always remembering the Star Wars that we love. That's what we'll do. People like to call us a hate channel just because they look at my awesome thumbnails. If you spend a lot of time here, you know that's not quite true. We don't just blindly hate it. Like, we actually mean the things that we're saying. And if they gave us something great, I'd be one of the first people saying it, and so would you guys. Yep. So thank you so much, Showroom Sabers. Revan's father has been a member for 12 months. Star Wars Theory just officially threatened to sue Wikipedia over accusing him to send his followers to make death threats. How crazy can it get, bro?
Wow.
I had no idea.
I caught him for just a few minutes on Critical Drinkers Open Bar earlier today, and this topic came up, and I had no idea all this was going on either. It's absolutely crazy.
Wow.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing how people, the fandom, has turned on Theory. A lot of the people that loved him hate him now. And one of the things I see is for the simple fact that he has a show with Critical Drinker and Ryan Kennel.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got those guys on? We hate you. And I'm like, wow. I guess there goes discourse. DA, you were going to say?
No, I was just saying, man, it's crazy how, over this show, everybody has just been blowing a gasket because this show is so bad and everybody's coming out and saying it's like you said at the beginning. And so now you have people threatening other people. And, even with the Wikipedia, they put the thing out there that some of their folks were receiving threats. None of that is what any of us, would countenance. We wouldn't stand for that for a second. We don't want any of our peoples, any of our supporters or anything making death threats. I mean, that's insane. We can all disagree about how we feel about Star Wars, how we feel about this actor, that actress, this director, and all of that. And it's all within the context of the franchise. But, when you start stepping outside of that and you start saying, oh, we got to threaten people's lives, I think you've gone too far. And so for them to do it, and I'm not saying that Wikipedia is or isn't doing it, but to read this is that Wikipedia is accusing him of sending his followers to do this. I mean, give me a break, man. Star Wars Theory is like the last person that I could think of that, and I don't know him personally, but it's just like, that's not who he is. You can tell that just from his online persona. That's just not who he is.
Well, here's the thing. Where's the receipt?
Right.
There ain't one.
This stuff is just insane. Like they're just that's what I mean. If they're just throwing stuff out there, you know.
And
come on, man. You know, this stuff affects people's lives. It's just I don't know. It's just hilarious.
Do I think there's been some amount of hate thrown towards Wikipedia, and have some people taken it too far?
Sure,
probably so. Right, but
yeah, but Risman, that's because there's a lot of people in fandom, in Star Wars fandom, that gives Wikipedia way more.
We'll get to that.
Way more than they should. They're a wiki site, guys.
Yeah, that's why it's a pedia.
It ain't that deep.
Well, and also what I was going to say is those bad actors do not typify the fandom, right? That is not your typical fan, right?
Just like
you're going to encounter you're going to encounter hateful people in life. That doesn't mean every person you ever encounter is hateful.
Yeah.
Right. Nor do I think they showed up and said, Star Wars Theory sent me. Right. I do think
to kill you.
I think there's some conflation of events here that gets, that just gets blown out of proportion in a way that's, to me, completely crazy and unnecessary. And here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say right now, we're going through the most divisive time. This is it is as bad as or worse as The Last Jedi.
I think it might be worse.
I think so.
I think it's worse too. I think
and look,
worse.
I don't think it's because everybody's on board with this being worse than The Last Jedi. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think since 2017 to now, that was 7 years ago, this is indicative of the overall negative impact social media has had. 7 years later, it's even worse. Imagine what it'll be like in 7 more years.
Well, and X amount of years locked down where nobody had anything to do but social media certainly hasn't helped the situation either.
True that.
Yep. But I'm with DA. Star Wars needs a win. In the worst way. And you know what? They need a live action win.
Yes.
Animation ain't going to get it done. Animation isn't going to get it done.
No.
Yeah, they're going to have to get something in the theaters or something on, Disney Plus or whatever. And maybe it's Andor. But I think if Skeleton Crew is bad, I don't think people are going to be waiting around for Andor. I mean, people will watch it, but I think if Skeleton Crew is bad, they'll say, okay, Andor is the only good thing that they're capable of doing. Hire Tony Gilroy, bring him back in. Maybe that's the thought process that they'll come to. But outside of if you have the Acolyte, Book of Boba Fett, last season of Mando, you had Obi-Wan. And then you come back with the Skeleton Crew. And if these are all bad shows that for the most part, the fandom is not united around, it's just not going to happen, And so, they got to figure that out. They got to get a win in the worst way, and they got to get it with something other than Andor, because I think most people think Andor is going to be solid.
Well, and the problem is they don't have anything in development right now.
Nothing.
Right. There's nothing being developed, right? Nothing. Yeah. Except for potentially Mandalorian and Grogu. And so I'll be very curious to see, people are speculating that when D23 happens in August, they'll make some announcements of something.
Look,
right?
I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
No, I was just going to say, other than Andor, for all we know, that's the last thing there's ever going to be.
And it's a lame duck.
Nothing else is announced.
It's a lame duck. There's nothing after the series finale. When season 2 ends, it's over. You're never going back to that world. It's over.
Yep.
You're moving on.
Yep.
And the thing is it could be an 11 out of 10, boys. It's not going to be enough.
Yep.
It's not going to be
enough.
That's
why I said they need a win outside of Andor. They need something in some other part of the continuity. I don't care where, but they got to figure something out. And
that's the one thing that The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 had. It reached a broad spectrum of fans. Andor, it seems like is a niche watch for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Ahsoka was too. There's a lot of Star Wars fans that did not watch the Clone Wars. Now, somebody said just a minute ago, hey, you want to make something that the fans can get behind, give us a Clone Wars live action series. I agree.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I'd be all in. Mm-hmm. Give us a Republic Commando series, live action. You know what I'm saying? That would be amazing. But look, the Mandoverse is not getting it done, and it's not because it's a bad setting. It's the stories that they're telling just isn't doing it. But here we are with the Acolyte, and it's way worse. Way
Well,
worse.
and like I say, I mean, they would need to put something in production tomorrow from a live action standpoint to have some, and, you know, unless they've kept a very big secret from everyone and they're busy working on something, which is impossible, right? You know what I mean? It takes a long time to make these things. And if you don't start making them, you're never going to put anything else out. So if they're thinking they're going to pivot back to just the big screen or whatever, I don't know what they're thinking, but it's not looking good for small screen content.
No, it's not. You're absolutely right. And based on Iger's comments that he's been saying over the past year, we're going to be getting less and less small screen content. Like he has spoken at length about where they went wrong being too aggressive on the streaming platform early on. He's spoken about it over and over again. He's viewing the streaming service as a big part of their problem. You know, but movies aren't the answer either. Like, we just need good, wholesome, fun storytelling. I got to ask you this though, Risman. You're incredibly biased, but I got to ask you, and chat, you weigh in too. I know you really enjoyed Andor. It's a functional story. It makes sense. Okay, I get it. I have said it a million times. The hardest part of Andor for me was watching it at 2 a.m. when it dropped. I am glad that we at least get to watch The Acolyte at 8. You know, I am glad for that. But do you think that Andor is fun?
No. Andor is a very serious adult series.
And
so as much as I love, as much as I love the content, it's still missing that primary for children, fun to watch. You know, you get a laugh out. Did we ever laugh one time in Andor? Did they ever say anything
I
funny
can't swim
at all?
That shit was hilarious.
Say again?
I can't swim. That shit was hilarious.
Well, I mean, that was sad, right? I mean, but no, seriously, I can't think of one. I can't think of one moment of levity in the entirety of the series.
Yeah, no, there's really nothing there. It's just it's a very grim, you know, and real world look at the building of the rebellion. So yeah, and you know, even some of the conversations from the, you know, from the Imperial was it Imperial ISB, I think the Imperial Security Bureau, everything's taken with a weight of seriousness, which is good. I enjoy that. I enjoy like reading and watching some serious content especially from a franchise like Star Wars, you know, where it's a lot of fun, you know. So it felt like a one-off. It felt like something different, something unique. It wasn't really, it's a part of Star Wars, but it really wasn't. And I enjoyed it for what it was. You know, I thought the acting, the writing, the directing, some of the speeches that were given, it was phenomenal, you know? So I enjoyed it just because, man, we haven't gotten anything good in the Star Wars universe for a while. Here, this thing comes like, oh man, this is great. All right.
Yeah.
More. And I feel like this, I feel like if you're going to tell stories and you're going to talk about the building of the rebellion, there's going to be some moments where you got to do something like an Andor, or if you're going to talk about, you know, Star Wars in a very deep, meaningful way, there's lore and world building that's done in Andor that you really can't do anywhere else. You know, like this heist scene, and, you know, what characters are really like. You know, like when Andor shoots the one guy because he's like, you know, saying, hey, man, me and you, we could split up and take the money and we can get out of here. And I was just like, oh, wow. And so that scene right there and the way that Andor reacted, that's real world. I feel that. And so, and then the same thing with the prison break. Like all of these moments were, you know, it felt raw. And I like that. It was something that we hadn't seen before. Do I want that every single time? No. No. I want Star Wars to be what I got with Empire Strikes Back. I want it to be what I got with the Return of the Jedi and the old, you know, the original trilogy. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, and I think
go ahead.
I also think in Andor 2, we have a real chance to see K2SO, right? So if they bring Alan Tudyk back and K2SO,
there's going to be some fun. Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
Everything he says will be fun.
So I think there's an opportunity for some more lightheartedness there, and I think the way they're going to advance us through the years is going to be interesting. There's a lot about it that I think will be intriguing. The problem is, I'm not sure the people who didn't like Andor season 1, are they going to tune into Andor season 2? Maybe, right?
Well, when you look at it, and I actually looked it up because I was curious as to what the audience scores were for all of these Star Wars series and which ones people like the most and the least. Mando and Mando season 2 are 1 and 2, and then right behind it is Andor, with I think like 86% or so. So most people that saw it liked it, at 86%, I guess, versus 14% that didn't like it. And now we're seeing like the exact flip reverse. Okay, the Acolyte is 14% didn't like it or liked it, and then 86%
those aren't real numbers, DA.
Like
it's been review bombed, man. It's been review bombed.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Could you imagine if in the middle of Luthen's speech he just said, "You know what? Screw this. I'm done with the rebellion. I don't need it anymore." You know what I mean? Forget it. I don't need to run around and do this anymore. I'm just going to go to my shop and do my. Because that's what happened in the.
I had a change of heart mid-episode.
Man.
Even though I've been angry about my sister falling off a bridge, but not just that, my entire family in Witch Coven. Never mind. They're still dead.
But I've seen people really, the cope is strong for some people on that part of the story. Because I've even heard people say, she's doing that to get in with the Jedi. She's thinking, well, if I act like I have a change of heart and I turn myself in, then all of a sudden I'm on the inside and I can kill one of them without, you know what I mean? They're like,
but she had that whole speech with the guy she's working with. So I can understand if she was doing that. Hey, look, here's the plan. I'm going to pretend to turn myself in and I'm going to get myself on the inside and I'll be able to kill all kinds of Jedi. If she said that to him, but she told him, she traps him, okay, and then tells him, I'm turning against this. I'm going straight. And it's like, what? That's the moment that I just said, all right, this thing is just
and on top of all that, I caught an interview that somebody put up after one of these like press junket interviews, and they were asking Manny Jacinto, they were like, how long did you have to hang upside down for them to film that scene? Like, it looked like it could have been painful or whatever. And it was him and Amandla. And Amandla goes, well, it was supposed to be me hanging upside down. And they changed it.
Interesting.
I'm thinking, what the heck? How would it have been her hanging upside down?
Yeah.
And so they just kind of went on, and he said, I could only do it for a minute, and my red splotties. But I'm like, I was still stuck on, well, why would she have been hanging upside down? So I don't know what's going on with this show, and according to the writer, they don't seem to know what's going on with it either. It just kind of goes on.
Look, when Star Wars.com has to release an opinion piece taking you through the entire episode to explain to you what the characters are thinking so the show actually makes sense, that's the definition of a fail. Yep. Name another franchise. On the day the episode releases, they have to make a big, huge article explaining it all to everybody.
But here's the funny thing about those episode guides. They've always done them, but this is the earliest they've ever released them.
Never like this. Yeah.
So they're releasing at 12 noon Eastern the episode comes out on a Tuesday. By Wednesday, 12 noon, they're putting out all the spoilers on StarWars.com. Like Coach is saying, here's the trivia guide, here's the still guide, and here's the what happened and why it happened. I'm like, some people haven't even clearly watched the episode. You all must not care. It's literally hours later, and you've spoiled it.
But see, they're saying all of this. They're doing all of this because they need a win. This whole franchise needs a win. And maybe they got, oh my gosh, we sunk $180 million into Leslie Headland's garbage. We didn't realize it, but hey, we got to put it out there. We got to put it out there because darn it, we bought into the ideology. We've set it all up. It's been 4 years since we've been, pushing this whole thing. So we got to do it. But now that they see where it's at and they see everybody turning against it, they got to pull out all the stops at this point.
Yeah. Now look,
they cannot afford. This thing is a fail anyway, but they're doing everything in their power to try to save or recover what little they can. And, ultimately it's just going to come down to, is this a good series or not? You can do your damage control. You can get all of your shills, all the king's horses, all the king's men, everybody. You will not get us to like this on the basis of any of that nonsense. It's got to be in the show. If the show is bad, it's bad, and that's that.
Here's the thing. When you're halfway through a season and it is where it is, you're not getting these people back.
No.
They're gone. No. They're gone. This is a fail already, and it's just going to get worse. The numbers are going to be awful, the numbers that Disney actually allows us to see. Now, to Sundowners Club, we did already mention, what a terrible decision that was. But and here's the reason why. The one cool thing, maybe that you had a Wookiee Jedi. Now, I didn't like the bun on top of his head or anything, but a Wookiee Jedi? And the entire episode is about a journey to his house to kill him. And we don't even get to see it happen.
And the part of Sundowners' comment that to me that is the most shocking is, bless this writer, I think her name is Claire, bless her for engaging online, but sometimes you just shouldn't talk, right? Because she said,
right. Yeah.
She said, we wrote it, right? We wrote the whole thing out. Right. And because of time, because of money, and because of point of view and what we were trying to accomplish, it was decided against. And I'm like, you just said to be nice, you just said all the wrong things at the wrong damn time.
You really did. Yep. You're absolutely right.
Say less.
Well, let's go ahead and keep rolling through our super chats. Graph Webb with a $2 super chat. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Now, he has been changing them a little bit. I have seen lately some, for the love of God, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. He has been really funny lately. So thank you, Graph Webb. We appreciate you, the most consistent man on YouTube. Walker Wade, 44. Wade! What's up, Walker Wade? $5 super chat. Acolyte makes the Ewok adventure look like a cinematic masterpiece. I agree.
Yep.
By the way, Eric Walker, who played Mace in the Ewok Adventure movie, friend to our channel, been here for a live stream interview one time. Great guy, really cool having him, a childhood hero of mine, on the channel. It's weird, bro, when you're sitting here looking at like, man, I used to watch that dude and wish I was him.
And he was so, I know he couldn't talk super long if I remember correctly, but I was every minute that I would have loved for him to stay longer. It was such a great conversation.
It really was. But thank you, Walker Wade, for sending that in. 97 Bravo has joined our member family. What's up, man? Good to see you. I've been seeing you around. That's awesome, brother. Welcome to the family. Robbie Peppers with a $1.99 super chat. I'm only watching the Acolyte. My family's in there. I'm only watching the Acolyte to see it fail. Yeah, well, it's definitely doing that, brother. Appreciate you, Robbie. Jedi Master Lawrence with a $5 super chat. Am I the only one when the 8 Jedi, May and Bucky's ugly brother, were walking single file, start going, ho, ho, it's off to work? I got you. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing it, but yeah, the Snow White deal there. Yeah,
it reminded me of Bad Take of Lord of the Rings, right? Where they're on their journey. I'm like, oh, this has already been done. Much better.
That was an epic walk.
Yeah. This was a slow, confused. We lost the tracker walk.
They were walking 5 miles per hour and lost the tracker. And look, shout out to Raging Rhino, who critiqued, his critique involved the whole time part of it. May says the sun goes down in 3 hours. We have to get moving. They're already on the planet. Okay? They're already on the planet. And then it changes scene to the Jedi on Coruscant. They got 3 hours, bro. And the Jedi are like walking around, making their plans, getting everything together, getting the ship. You just have to assume they eventually go. But they don't go hyperspace like in A New Hope, where like you're playing chess, relaxing. it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a little bit. No, not in this, because in this show, the Jedi and May and her people, whatever they are, I'm not even going to call them Sith, they show up at the same time. And they had a 3-hour jump on them. Like,
actually, what's the name? Beat him there. The little gopher guy beat him there.
Gerbil. No. He identifies as a gerbil.
Yeah. All right. My bad.
Well, and also remember, they're battling the big moth. What was the purpose of battling the moth on the way?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, and then they feel bad about killing the moth because she reached out in the Force, and the moth got
remember that.
And then Saul was attracted to the light.
The little roly-polies on the trees.
Once I saw the skinny, smiley, Sith-looking dude floating in the air,
like
descending like Mary
down
Poppins
out of the back, man. That was
like
so cringe, man.
Like Mary Poppins, and then Force pushes a dozen or 8 Jedi, and Nick was like, "Dude, Darth Vader couldn't beat all those Jedi," and he couldn't. Darth Vader was struggling with Ben Kenobi. Now Rogue One, Darth Vader, who knows, but
listen, these are supposed to be Jedi masters, right? These are supposed to be supreme, they're supposed to be advanced, warrior, all of these things. They see the Sith, and what's their first reaction? Charge! They all just start running. None of it makes any sense at all.
I agree.
They tell Osha to run, and then they start running. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Anyways, we're not even at the Acolyte part yet, but we're getting there. Oh, my goodness. Game Slayer with a $2 super chat. Hi, Coach. I'm happy to support the true Star Wars. Thank you, brother. Me too, and thank you for supporting our channel, man. We really, really appreciate you. Yes, sir. Eric Smith with a $2 super chat. Having plot holes doesn't make it a mystery. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Like I've seen online, the people say the biggest mystery is, where'd the budget go? I think we found the mystery of the Acolyte, right? Where'd the budget go?
Hey, and by the way, there's no reason I saw this online too. There's no reason to do a Spaceballs 2. We already have a great parody show of Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're getting that right now, from Disney.
My goodness.
So anyways, yep. Showroom Sabers with a $19.99 super chat. Theory posts constantly on his channels, Instagram, Twitter, everything to please be polite in discourse and explain your points with respect. I think Theory's new saber business has Disney scared. His sabers are greater than Disney's. Trust me, I clicked. Oh, there's no doubt about that. I've heard so many people say never buy a Disney saber. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. But Showroom Sabers, we appreciate you, brother. Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for that $19.99 super chat. You are the man. And you're right. Theory does say that all the time. Sutton Creek Productions with a $2 super chat. When it hits the fan, everyone gets the spray. Ooh. Yep. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Fandomology. What's going on, Master Paul? Again, guys, thanks for braving this show for us. Master Paul's been with us for 33 months. Our pleasure. People are like, why are you watching it if you hate it? Bro, I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 3. I'm going to watch it. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it. I will tell you this. It's the only thing in my life I'm watching that I don't like. That's it. Yeah. I would never spend this kind of time. And to be fair, I don't spend a lot of time. I watched it one time, and I can't go back and watch it again. I actually thought today, I got 2 hours. Should I go back and watch the 4 episodes of The Acolyte and really buckle down and try to pay attention?
Are you crazy?
No, I can't. I took a nap.
No, we're Star Wars fans. It's what we do. We're going to watch Star Wars. We're going to be critical of Star Wars. We're going to talk about Star Wars. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it in between. That's just how Star Wars fans are. But yeah, we do it for the people. Thank you very much for subscribing.
Man, think about your sports fans.
Yeah.
When the team is bad, does that mean you bounce?
Oh, look. I'll show y'all this. Here's my team.
Oh no.
Yeah. Still my team. Okay. We ain't done squat since 1985.
Super Bowl shuffle.
Well, actually, we did make a Super Bowl, but still, that's my team. I'm still thick
We're
and
not
thin.
here to start no trouble.
Yeah, man. But see, this is what we are, okay? We're not fair weather fans. We're not just going to love Star Wars only when it's good. And when it's not good, oh, I hate Star Wars. That's just not who we are, you know? We're fans. This is what we do.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Well, thank you, Fandomology, for sending that in. Donna Hergenrether, member for 27 months. Congrats to DA for 15,000. You will make double that in no time. We are, you are. We still have the OT and each other EBN family. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that.
Olaf with €6. Gina in her role of Cara Dune of the New Republic. That would make me raise some more interest. Again, excited and hope to see Disney go to Discovery. Yeah. Brother Olaf, thank you so much. I would like to see Gina Carano in an elevator with Amandla Stenberg for 30 seconds.
Oh.
That's what I would like to see. 30 seconds. That's it.
Man.
That's all it would take. Anyways. Super Nate, what's up, brother? Good to see you. He says, hey, Coach, remember when we met and my wife was pregnant? I do. We're celebrating that baby girl's first birthday today. Much love, man. Hope to see y'all again. Happy birthday to little Super Nate. That is awesome, brother. I will never forget, man. Guys, me and Nick and Mattuine went and watched the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi in our local theater. And while we were there, one of our subscribers walks up to us and goes, hey, I'm Nate. I subscribed to the channel. I'm like, wow. Like, we sit there and took pictures with him and met him, his wife. She was pregnant at the time. That's awesome, man. So thank you so much, Super Nate. Great to see you, and give your wife and family love from us, man. Thank you. CS with a $20 super chat. Right now, it seems as if all of the movie projects except one. Oh, brother, what a great super chat. This is where we're going, man. This is where we're going next. And then we're going to the bloody Acolyte. Right now, it seems as if all the other movie projects except one are not going to happen. Mangold, no. Ray movie, no. Filoni movie, no. However, the Favreau movie, I think, will happen because Mando had mid-success on Disney+. Fascinating tweet. We're talking about the movies next. CS, I am with you as far as I think a lot of the movies are in major trouble. Hey, Disney's had so many failed or shelved, canceled, cobwebbed projects anyways that had been greenlit, and some of them even in pre-production. What's with a few more? Who cares, right? Kathleen Kennedy, the canceller of projects.
Yeah, announce a movie, cancel a movie. Announce a movie, cancel a movie, man. That's just what we do at Star Wars right now, man. Yeah, I don't think any of those is going to happen. And you know, I think the Mando and Grogu movie, because they're apparently, you know, shooting that. Do we have a script yet? Did they finish the script for Ray? Or the guy's supposedly
it's
working
coming.
He's done with Peaky Blinders.
She's here tonight, DA. You'll hear from her in a second.
Oh yeah, that's true. We're going there.
She's here today.
Okay.
She's with us.
Oh, and something she said is going to get people riled up.
Special appearance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. All those projects, I just don't know. But thank you so much, CS. Venger with a £5 super chat. In House of the Dragon, the blood and cheese segment at the end of episode 1 was horribly brutal, but compared to the book, it was very tame. I think Laris wants Otto's job. Okay. Venger is our resident House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones expert, so we appreciate him very much, even though he said I looked like that little gerbil.
Indeed.
Thank you, Venger. Thank you, Venger. Scott Westbrook with a $5 super chat, and it is a Fox going, good job. Good job. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you very much, Scott Westbrook. And Mitch Fish has joined our Padawan family. Thank you, sir. Our newest Echo Base Network member. That catches us all up, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving right into the movies right here, and then after that, we'll get into the Acolyte. Sean Levy just dropped an optimistic update on his Star Wars movie. Risman, why don't you tell us a little bit about this one?
All he said is he's still working on it. That's why I love this title. I mean,
that's it. He needs more time. He needs more time.
It's where it needs to be while I'm still working on it, and it takes a long time, because it's a complicated world. And is that optimistic? It doesn't sound very optimistic.
The fact that he's talking about it at all, I guess, is optimistic for some people.
Yeah,
but this is a movie that doesn't even get mentioned amongst the other movies because I think most people think it's not very likely.
Yeah,
man.
So along with Taika Waititi,
just working on it.
Yeah, just working on it.
He pulled a Filoni and basically said it's exactly where it should be at this point in its development. This is what.
You sound like Ryan Johnson. Oh yeah, I'm still doing this. I'm still doing my trilogy.
Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Oh, DA, you're gonna love this.
I hope you guys are ready.
No, here she comes. We haven't seen her.
Are ready.
Listen, we haven't seen her in a while. I found this clip and I said, you know what? We need to. People are missing her, so here she is. Here she is in all her glory.
Okay, giving an update for the Star Wars universe from Charmine Obaid Manhater Chinoy. Here we go. She loves to make men uncomfortable, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure she's all about that discourse.
No, stop it.
My bad.
Sometimes you walk in the footsteps of people and giants who've created worlds. And in the case of Star Wars, George Lucas's world and the filmmakers that have walked in his footsteps have set this world that they want young viewers to sort of walk into and have an understanding of the world. And at the heart of it, for me, is Rey Skywalker, is Daisy Ridley and her story.
For me, the heart of the world is Rey Skywalker or Daisy Ridley.
Wait, it gets better.
Here we go. Wow. Boy, you're speaking right to the fans there, let me tell you.
Wow. You talk about not understanding a franchise.
Oh, the fact that she even mentioned J.J. Abrams' name lets you know the lady doesn't know what she's talking about.
She hasn't mentioned it yet, does she?
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. She did without mentioning his name, but yeah, go ahead.
And taking her on an adventure to a Jedi Academy and sort of creating a world that is a natural dovetail to the story that we've seen her go through the last 3 episodes. And working with Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy and the team over there in breathing life to characters that everyone loves and has...
Who? Everyone
Who is
loves?
she talking about? What fan base is she talking about? What franchise is she talking? She's talking about something else. Because she's not talking about Star Wars and Rey being beloved by the fans. She's not talking about her, I know.
If you love Rey, throw up a #1 in chat, please.
I love her so much. This is so good. If
you love Rey Skywalker Palpatine, throw up a 1 in chat.
Wait, it's not even the
best.
It
gets better, apparently. Okay, all right, let's go. Let's get better.
Everyone loves and has fallen in love with, and everyone loves over there in breathing life to characters that everyone loves and has fallen in love with, and finding new characters that the next generation of moviegoers will fall in love with. I've had conversations with J.J. Abrams. I've had conversations with George Lucas, and then, of course, Dave Filoni.
She's had conversations with everyone but the guy writing the damn script. She had no conversations with Stephen Knight. She's talking to everybody else.
Man, she just mentioned J.J. Abrams and George Lucas in the same breath.
Yes.
I can't believe this.
Who's a big part of the Star Wars universe now. We speak very often, and Kathy
talking about Dave Filoni.
Kennedy and Carrie Beck and Simon Emanuel. I mean, I think the team is really taking time to make sure that we do justice to telling the story of Daisy, and I think that she stands for something.
She stands for something.
I think that we do justice to telling the story of Daisy, and I think that she stands for something.
I think she stands for something. What it is, I have no idea, but I think she stands for something.
You missed her
I
chance.
think she does.
She has all the qualifications to be an excellent writer for the Acolyte. She missed her chance.
She did. Should have fit right in. Should have fit right in.
We've seen this wonderful journey she went on in episode 7, 8, and 9.
No, we didn't.
And now it's like on to the next adventure. And how do we create a world and the adventure that we take her on?
Yeah. So the best
I would rather play this game right here than that. That was
so she said world in there about 53 times, but she kept saying, well, don't worry, it's not episode 10, which sure sounded like a lot like episode 10 to me.
Yeah. Oi.
This thing gonna be a giant train wreck, man.
Look, if they actually,
I don't even think it happens. So
I agree with you, DA. But brother, if it does happen, like,
I mean, listen to the people that she's talking to. She said she's talking to George Lucas. Then she said she's talking to right here, perfect. Okay, she's talking to Dave Filoni, J.J. Abrams. She throws Kathy Kennedy, Carrie Beck, Simon Emanuel. These are all the people that are responsible for Star Wars being in the situation that it's in right now. Okay. Yeah. Saying George. All right. You set George aside. The other 5 people that she names have destroyed Star Wars. These would be the last people I would talk to. I wouldn't talk to any of them. No, I don't want to talk to Dave. I want to talk to George. Can I get on George? Put George back on the phone. I don't want to talk to anybody but the people that knew Star Wars, that made great Star Wars. Okay, and none of these other fools have done anything but destroy the franchise. Why am I consulting with the franchise destroyers?
Oh, and shouldn't you talk with the guy? Shouldn't you talk with the guy writing the damn script?
I mean, that obviously, yeah. But
guys, I hate to tell you this. But we go from bad.
This is another gem. You got to. We can't have a live stream without our friend.
We go from bad to worse.
Talking about canon. Talking about how he treats the canon.
Here we go.
Nice. Let's hear it.
Look at that face. That's a face, isn't it?
It's a very punchable face. It's a very punchable face.
Canonicity.
Oh, this is good. Wait until you hear what he said.
Canonicity.
Wait until you see how he defines canon.
Canonicity. You know what? The short of it for me is when people like the story, it seems to be canon. When they don't, it doesn't seem very much to become canon. It doesn't. That's true when we were dealing with the old expanded universe. You'd have fans fighting for some, stories, not other stories. The only canonical thing back then was if George Lucas did it.
Right.
It was very cut and dry. Now it's a bit more nebulous and everything's canon. And I just look at it differently. Do you like the story? Well, then it's canon. Like for you, like that's.
Do you like it, DA? If you like it, it's canon. If you don't, well,
this is the man in charge of Star Wars.
You don't, then man.
You know what? I honestly I can rock with that because I can now again. That's why we call it Disney Star Wars, because it's not Star Wars, and I can just forget about all the crap that they've done. I actually rock with that, Dave Filoni. If I like it, okay, I consider it canon based on now where we're at in the Star Wars franchise. I can I can dismiss a whole lot of crap because it's trash, and I'll call it trash. And pretty much, like I said, the only thing I want to bring over from Disney Star Wars is Rogue One and Andor. Y'all can keep the rest of it. Okay.
I mean,
everything else, y'all have it because it's
Dave,
not, to me, it's garbage. And I don't want I don't want this franchise associated with garbage like this.
Hey, Dave, I got an idea. Let's put Ki-Adi-Mundi in this, and what he says isn't going to match up with what happened in the prequels, but I just think it's a great idea. And Dave's like, yeah, and let's put in Broom Boy and Maz Kanata and anybody else in the sequels. It's just whatever you want to do it. Yeah. If it feels good, do it.
Choose your own adventure. What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Yep, that's what we're doing now at Star Wars, man. This is terrible, man. But anyway, keep going. I'm sorry.
Good. I think that's fair. But we consider it all. People like to think that it is, they like to use the word policing a lot. I don't like to use that for this because it's a creative thing.
Yeah.
I think of it like a creative flow, and there's a Jedi Council, and it's like the way I look at directing. When I'm directing, I'm guiding the creative flow of everybody on the team.
All right. Now hold up.
Yeah.
That explains everything.
Yes.
Motherfucker just started directing. I don't want to. He ain't got no expertise. Ahsoka, look at his face right now.
Man.
I would tell him to his face, Ahsoka was garbage and you should be ashamed that you directed it. So the last person that needs to be telling us about directing is you.
Well, you'll see what he'll see his cooperative approach to directing.
Guiding the creative flow of everybody on the team, everybody on the set, to try to achieve the best possible outcome for this story. If I've told the story well, if everybody knows the story, if we're all on the same page, that'll happen. And it's not about getting what I want, because
Oh no. Oh no.
Dang, Coleman. Got him.
That's where
Got
this interview
him.
was taking place.
Got him.
Oh, no.
what's going to happen is going to be the thing it should be, because I've guided it as a director, and the team knows, and everyone has brought their particular skill and done the best they can with it and elevated it. Like, I don't imagine that what I wrote is the best thing it can be. You know, the actor's going to add additional layers to it. Like, Rosario is amazing to me, because I thought, well, how do I do this character in live action? A character that I've drawn, that I've had such an animation control of everything, you know, how do I relinquish that to this actor? And then she did a scene, and I was like, okay, so that's going to be fine.
all of those sleepless nights are now just okay.
Yeah,
Done. Check that box.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ahsoka, let's kind of round out, because we've now answered that Dave Filoni is
I hope
not
I've answered. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
no, you
I
have,
hope I
because-
answered. I never
well,
know
you-
if I answered the question.
You've
I heard
answered
I'm
the
really
question.
good at debating. So
Oh,
you
no,
know, tell me.
because you clarified for us that Dave Filoni is not the police; he's a steward. He's the guide of this.
I think
Yes.
so. I mean,
Yeah.
Star Wars, as George made it in his films, it's the wonderful thing. It's the core of it. When I need
Yes.
to remind myself of what I'm missing, I go back and watch it.
Yeah.
You know, or
I like that. But
Must not have watched it lately.
but something doesn't resonate.
It's getting lost in translation. Whatever
Yeah.
he's going back to the review, it's not coming through in the work, you know? So
American
yeah, it's the
Defeat
guy
or
that don't get it. man.
THX, and I kind of like, right, I refocus. This is what my task is, because you bring your own expertise and bias into it, and that's fine.
Listen,
And we adapt that into Star Wars now, but I think we get to better ideas that way than if it was like a yes no province, you know, just saying yes to that, no to that. That's not interesting. I've learned over time, even if it's something I don't like as an idea, I want to hear why someone thinks that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we explore it, and sometimes it becomes a great idea. You never know.
Yeah,
You know?
it's the Star Wars canon as jazz, not necessarily classical music.
That-
There's
that's
room
fair.
for
Well,
improvisation.
right? It's
Yeah.
wonderful
room
with
for
jazz, so-
improvisation, right?
That interview explains so much.
And that's a snippet of a larger interview. If you want to torture yourself
sure.
and watch the other 37 minutes, you can find it. But I found that particular clip,
Look,
because we're going to be talking about canon here in a second. I was like, boy, this is a perfect clip.
there's a lot of people in Star Wars fandom that have been shouting it from the rooftops for years now that Dave Filoni is not one of us, that he's a major part of the problem. It turns out, as it happens, those people were right. They were right. I was not buying into that. I took the scientific approach. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see, and I'm going to measure the evidence. I needed to see what he did in live action. He did perfectly fine in the animated space. He did. He gave us some great Star Wars in animation. But he did Ahsoka. And he's the one pulling the strings in all of this cohesiveness that Bryce Dallas Howard talked about earlier. This is his vision.
Yeah.
This is him. The Mandoverse is his vision now. It might have started out as Favreau's. It's his now. All of these pieces, and it is killing Star Wars. And the thing is, we're talking about these movies. I hope the movies do come out. and if it doesn't dramatically improve, it will be the death. Like we keep talking about the death. So many people have left; it's already died for them. But when I'm talking death, I mean like finality. No more live action or movies. Could it ever get that bad?
Yeah, it's there. We're at that point right now where you don't expect the next Star Wars thing, the Skeleton Crew, to be good. You don't have any anticipation of this being good. You're not looking for it. You're not, oh man, I can't wait till the Skeleton Crew is coming out, you know? And again, you've lost, this is the main thing that is destroying the brand, is you're not bringing in new fans. You have people that are completely checked out of Star Wars. It'd be one thing if, you're, hey, we're making all of this stuff. The old fans don't love it, but the new fans, they love it, man. The new fans are, they're stacking it up. They're watching the Acolyte in droves. Everybody's talking about it online. It's buzzing. Yeah, you guys don't like it. Well, we're no longer making stuff for you. It's about the new crew. All right, the new generation. The new generation they're not messing with it either. And so at this point, you're just losing old fans. You're not replacing the old fans with new fans. And so the franchise is just slowly dying. And then you got this guy talking about, what's canon. I don't know what canon is. It's fluid. It's this. And it's like, this is the reason why Star Wars is failing. Mm-hmm. They don't have the mind and the creativity of George Lucas to be able to put a story together. They're going away from what George Lucas did originally, again, just making mythology. That's what it was. They want to just tell fun little stories, and none of the stories are fun. So, I mean, yeah, it explains so much about why this franchise is failing. And again, if they were replacing the fans, I might have to shut up and say, you know what, it ain't for me no more. They're clearly found an audience to watch this stuff, but they can't find an audience for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally with you, brother. We're going to run through these super chats and get right into this Acolyte business, guys. Sutton Creek Productions with $2 Canadian. Palpatine won. I walked away. Palpatine never should have returned. That was a huge indicator. Not only was The Last Jedi an indicator, and there were also indicators in The Force Awakens too. But when they brought Palpatine back, you're talking about a franchise that has totally lost its grip on storytelling. Just terrible. Thank you for sending that in, brother. Hargrave with a $2 super chat. I hope Theory sues them if these Raylos eat noodles. Thanks, bro. I hope he does too. They need to learn a lesson. C West B with $1.99. Disney Plus Echo Chamber is destroying Star Wars. Yeah. These are the people online right now saying, everybody be nice. There's no place for hate. If you don't like it, just don't watch. Bye. Come on, man. We can't be critical. And look, they keep saying we're angry. We're not angry. Y'all are mad because we don't like it.
Yeah.
That's my experience. You're mad because we don't like it. You're attacking us. I hadn't called anybody anything for liking it. If you like it, great. I don't understand it, but whatever. Sure. Glad for you. But the overwhelming majority, this is the most united we've been in a couple of years, guys. But this time it's opposite. We were united behind a tremendous amount of positivity with Mandalorian Chapter 16, The Return of Luke Skywalker. Now it's a tremendous amount of negativity. We don't like this at all. It's atrocious. T. Neal, 89, my friend from Valiant Renegades last night. Good to see you, my friend. I listened to that song. Oh, boy. After my ears stopped bleeding, I was able to appreciate how she managed to replicate the sound of a ruptured oil rig. Bravo. Hey, I got to tell you, Junkman made the funniest tweet I have ever seen.
He has some good ones every now and again.
I don't think he did it on purpose.
Oh, that happens.
He said, after watching that video, he said, are you ready? They sing now.
Wow, that was he definitely didn't mean it.
I don't think he meant it like that, but that was funny. That was funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
They sing now. Oh boy. T-Neil89. What's up, bro? Thank you so much again. That's how you celebrate a successful show, right? I'm not sure what we're talking about.
I don't remember. I don't know the context either.
Yeah, I don't know the context, bro. You got to let us know in chat. If you guys will keep your eyes open for that. Let us know what you meant. But yeah, it's definitely a mess. Thank you, T. Neil. John Papa Sergio with a $4.99 super chat. Is Skeleton Crew about the low remaining number of Star Wars fans? Oh. Hey, look, the show undoubtedly is going to be way better than this. Way better.
It is.
That doesn't mean
There's
it's gonna
nowhere
be
to
good.
go but up.
Exactly.
Can't get worse than 14%.
Well,
I mean, I guess you could, but I
but
think by
also-
the time this thing is said and done, it's going to be in the single digits, so it can't get worse. Much worse.
But also, by all accounts, even though it's a show about children, it seems like adults are making it, right? John Watts, Chris Ford, right? Favreau's present. You know what I mean? They're
right.
You know, it's just a whole different. It just seems like a whole different level of maturity, and that seems really weird to say about a show about kids, right? And here we've got a bunch of children making a show that's supposed to be super mature.
I'm going to explain the joke. I'm not trying to be ugly. Junkman said, they sing now. Amandla Stenberg, her pronoun preference is they, them. So he said, they sing now. Instead of she sings now. Anyways, that was the joke. And I really do not give Junkman the credit for it. He didn't mean it like that, but it was great.
It's still good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't you mansplain, strategist. Yeagar, 5-month member. If I had kids, I'd watch The Acolyte as punishment. Lock them in a room and turn it on. Oh, yikes. Just episode 3. That's enough.
You know, speaking of kids, they put out a tweet for Father's Day, and one of the things the tweet said was, treat your father, do something special. It was that single that got released that's going to be in the credits.
The Power of Many.
And then there was a few other things. And so I posted it in a Discord, and someone in the Discord responded and said, if my kids gave me that song for Father's Day, I'd disown them.
For sure.
Absolutely.
It really tickled me.
Dude, it used to be, look, DA's got Star Wars swag on. I've got Star Wars swag on. Okay, Risman, you normally do.
I know.
What is that? An octopus?
Today I'm
What
Haunted
is that
Mansion.
thing?
Today I'm Haunted Mansion.
Okay. It's not cool anymore to walk around and tell people you're a Star Wars fan. When people say like at work, do you like Star Wars? And I'm like, now it's a complex answer. It's not no longer a simple yes. Man, I love Star Wars. That's how me and Nick became friends. You like Star Wars? 1992. Dude, I love Star Wars. We've been best friends ever since. Now somebody asks me I like Star Wars out in the real world, and I'm like, nah, I don't. I have a Star Wars channel. I love Star Wars from 77 to 12, but I am not a fan of Disney Star Wars. You know, and you have to explain that. I don't want people looking at me like I'm one of them. I'd be ashamed, honestly, personally, myself. Like that would make me just feel all kinds of funny. But anyways, thank you for sending that in, brother. CS with a $10 super chat. Filoni is awful. He is one of the key players responsible for destroying this franchise. Now we know.
It's him.
And
I blame
again,
him.
that writer who was verbose online, somebody asked him, what about Filoni? Have you seen Filoni? And the writer was like, oh yeah, he approved all the scripts. All the scripts passed by Filoni's desk, amongst others.
And the whole team. The
and
whole
got approved.
story group. Make no mistake, George Lucas could have said 2 weeks ago when asked, nobody understands the Force except for me and Dave. He could have said that. He didn't. And that was
Because
just
he
for
knows.
example.
Yeah.
I'm the only person that gets it. He didn't include Dave in that. And Star Wars and its shills try to lift Filoni up like he's the prodigal son.
Filoni's been milking that, in my opinion. Filoni has been milking that I'm the guy that trained under George. George brought me over from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm the guy. I'm this chosen one or whatever. And honestly, I don't think George ever appointed Filoni as anything. He was just a guy he brought over. Hey, help me with the Clone Wars. And then Dave saw himself and he saw opportunities and, he read up, he understood, at least, contextually, hey, I got all of these Star Wars Bibles. I can read up on them and try to understand everything and be this little encyclopedia of Star Wars knowledge. I think he has just taken that and ran it all the way up to the top, making everybody believe that he was the guy, the chosen one that George wanted to continue telling Star Wars stories. And he's not. He's not. He doesn't understand the franchise. He doesn't understand the fan base. He doesn't understand anything. So it's sad, but yeah, this guy has been playing people for years over there at Lucasfilm. I'm dead serious. I think this guy's been playing the game. He's been, using that George Lucas cred, so to speak, as a way to kind of, work his way up. And here he is at the top, and all he's given us is garbage. And yeah, he approved all of these scripts and said, yeah, go ahead and do it. And everything that seems to come out of this guy is just garbage.
I mean,
he's convinced everybody. He's like I'm saying, he's just convinced everybody over there at Lucasfilm that I'm the guy. You got to trust me. All right. And man.
Well, or one of two things happen, right? Either he's convinced them of that or they anointed him that because there wasn't anybody else to anoint it. And what's he going to say? No. Either way, it's not good. Yeah. Right. Either way, it's not good.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that his answer in that interview we just watched was, canon used to be whatever George made. Now it's whatever you want. When he could have said, canon will always be what George made. He could have said that.
And you know what else he should have said, Coach? He should have said, you're damn right I'm policing. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to bring this under consistent control, whether we like it or not.
Right.
But he should stand up and say, I'm the chief creative officer of this mess. I'm going to bring it under consistent control. This is what we're going to focus on. This is what we're not. These are the stories we're going to tell. If you're the boss, act like the fucking boss.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. Exactly. You're not supposed to let your crew run amok and, we're just going to make whatever it is we want to make. We'll pass it by Dave. Dave will just rubber stamp it and move it along. And, because he doesn't think canon matters, because back in the day, canon was a lot of different things. We all understand that. But, at the end of the day, when they brought it down and said, we're getting rid of the EU, we're getting rid of all of these old, and we're going to shift it over to legends or whatever. But they had a canon. It's like, okay, look, this is the stuff that was important to the franchise. And we're going to stick to this and nothing else. And we're not going to allow anything else to come in. And Dave should have absolutely been a gatekeeper. He should have been keeping controls over this thing. And I don't know if it's him or if other people, and he just doesn't give a damn, but he's let this thing run amok. And at this point in time, the whole franchise is just doomed. All right.
I agree.
That's just the way it is.
And look, unfortunately, both myself and Risman have both said no words.
We have.
Shame.
N-O, N-O, no, 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 no. N-O, N-O, no, 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 no. N-O, N-O. No, 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 no. N-O, N-O, no, no, no.
Been a while since I let the whole thing play.
I was going to say, it's been a long time since that song's made an appearance, hasn't it?
Yeah. Perfect timing. Jagar, $1.99. Coach, who do you think KJ USA's new sponsor will be? I don't know, but if I could pick, I would want Infinite. That's my guess. I say Infinite Discs. They need to land another star, even though he's not been playing well in the last couple of years. But it'll be interesting to see. Thank you, Jagar. Who do you think? T-Neil89, $2, was making fun of Filoni's damage control. Gotcha, bro. And you didn't have to super chat again, man, but thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro. It's 3 super chats. Wow. Pilgrim Media, $2. These shows are message over revenue. They don't care. I agree.
Yep.
It's amazing that they come out with these and then they blame the fandom when it doesn't go well. 14%, ladies and gentlemen. It is 14% right now for a reason, and it's not review bombing. It's because it's crap. That's
well,
why.
and there's no way they can really think anyone's gonna subscribe to Disney Plus because it's a big hit. And they certainly can't be surprised to see people unsubscribing from Disney Plus because it's not a big hit.
Do you know
So
how many
this comment-
times I've seen on Twitter since Amandla Stenberg's little discourse music video, people saying I'm out?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And it's funny because they'll say, well, her comments back when she said, I want white people to cry. It didn't have anything to do with Star Wars. Why are you guys so mad? It's like, we don't want this in our franchise. We don't want somebody that thinks like this and wants to make white people cry. We are not looking to have this type of person in our franchise. I'm sorry.
And how many people took it out of context? She's painting a picture saying that everybody that doesn't like this show did that.
Yeah.
When nothing is further from the truth.
Like, immediately people came out, debunked it, and I was like, oh, okay, it doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars, cool, and moved right on. But still, I'm saying you shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff. Again, it's Rachel Zegler type nonsense all over again, man, where you got some loudmouth activist that wants to get out there and run her mouth, and she's hurting the franchise in the process.
I would say that Amandla Stenberg is Zegler on steroids.
Oh, man, she's big time Zegler, man. I don't even think Zegler would have had to.
No, I agree.
We have to wait and see what Snow White happens. If people are hating on that, if she's going to drop a mixtape or a diss track or
just
whatever.
dropped a 3.5 minute long music video shaking her whatever in the camera, saying all that nonsense. And ain't nobody trying to watch that.
It's shocking. Ooh. Absolutely shocking.
I cannot do that song. Like,
Look, I said, I think she had a bet. Hey, I bet you I could get this Acolyte score down to 9% tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let me put this video out. I guarantee you.
I said that in my video. I said, she's trying to drop this thing to single digits. By the way, you didn't mind me calling? Look, I saw the video and I said, my God, surely AI made this. This is not real. Man. There's no way. That's after watching it. I watched the whole thing and I'm sitting there going, that ain't real. There's no way that could be real. The internet would be blowing up. There's just no way. And I start searching. Yeah, it's on her Instagram. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I make the video. It took me 30 minutes. I get it out. And the very next thing I do, I called you.
Yep, you sure did.
And
I was like, wait, what?
You got to get on this.
I was doing something at the time, but I said, all right, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to make a video. I'm sure it's just going to be fun or whatever. I did not expect to see everything that I was seeing in that video. I just kind of watched it for a second, and then I was like, all right, man, let me get back to this when I'm finished doing what I'm doing. And then as soon as I sat down and watched it, I was like, holy moly.
Brother, if I call you to tell you about something, it's go time.
Yeah, it's go time.
And so I saw Coach's video and I looked at it and I almost called you, Coach, because I'm like, I think Coach got had. Because I'm like, there's no way this can be real.
I know.
So then I puttered around a little bit on Google and realized, much to my horror, it was absolutely real. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to have to watch this later then. I can't right now. And so I didn't end up calling him because I'm like, this is a real thing.
Yeah. And our old brother, Thrawn. So let me ask a serious question. How does that video compare to what Gina did? Disney going to enact the same level of punishment? No way.
Nope.
Because Amandla Stenberg doesn't vote Republican.
She's saying what they saying behind closed doors. They feel the exact same way. Disney feels how Amandla Stenberg feels. All right, they're in lockstep. Okay,
yep.
They think alike. So yeah,
but you certainly see the hypocrisy of it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, again, she could come out and she can yell and scream and call people bigots, racists, and oppressors. She actually said that, the oppressors are, I forget, gaining strength or whatever, nervous or something. I forget what she's saying, but I'm like, what oppressors? Who's oppressing you? Nobody's oppressing you. Yeah, you're a child actress. You've been rich and famous your entire life. Who's oppressing you? And it's like ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Here's a great point. Anna, such a good point. By the way, people believed that her comment about making men cry was related to Star Wars because it was believable. Because that's exactly the kind of thing that they would say.
Well, and in the song, not that I would have expected otherwise, in the song she clarified what that was about, but she never said that she didn't think it didn't apply, right? So by, you know what I mean? She brought back something that was no longer up, that was no longer timely.
Yeah.
And then she never, you know what I mean? She never really addressed how she was feeling. Obviously, the whole point of putting the song out now is because she feels like people are not treating fairly on the Star Wars series. You certainly can't say it's not about Star Wars now, because she put it out while the series is bombing.
That's why I said in my video, her feelings are hurt. She is the star of the lowest rated Star Wars series that was specifically made for her. Okay, Leslie Headland specifically wrote this, had her in this thing before one frame of footage was ever shot. They didn't go out on a casting call. This is her baby. And she was the centerpiece around this entire show. And this thing is bombing. She's got to feel, it's got to hit. Don't you think so? If somebody said, hey, man, I'm going to do a show, coach, I'm going to make you the star. You are the star of the show, coach. We putting you front and center. You're going to be playing all of these various. This is all about you. And then this thing. All right, man, I ain't going to ever say that again if that's what we're going to get. But look, if she said, if I did that and then the show comes out and it bombs, and I mean bombs, you're going to feel some way about that. You're going to feel a little like, oh, man, dang. This is how people feel about me.
Not only is she the star, if you look at it from a certain point of view, she's failing at it twice. She's double failing because she's playing two freaking roles.
Two roles, right. So yeah, how do you think she is hurt right now? She is hurt from the fan backlash. She's hurt from the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
But she's blaming the wrong people.
Right. I completely agree. I said the next time, Amandla Stenberg, you need to go and make sure that when you sign up, especially when you're coming into the Lion's Den, because look, the Star Wars fan base, we don't play them games. Okay. You start dropping some nonsense, we are going to come for your head. So this is the problem, that Amandla Stenberg forgot, or she didn't know, or she didn't understand what she was getting herself into. You got to make sure that these projects, whoever it is that's right, hey, man, this thing needs to be better than that. Run it through your agent, run it through somebody else. Make sure that this show that you're signing up for and this giant franchise, that's one of the biggest franchises in the world, make sure that it's good. Because if it's not, you might just want to say, yeah, I pass. I'm not going to be a part of this. No thanks. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks, and then find something else to do. Because, yeah, she just got, she's in the crosshairs. And now doing this song, just doubling down on this. Oh my God, man. Like, are you crazy? So yeah, now she's basically, persona non grata when it comes to Star Wars. And she's never going to she's never going to recover from this,
Mm-mm.
Man.
No, look, who's going to want her as a lead ever again? She's in the worst Star Wars. She's in the show that killed Star Wars. Not only is she in the show that killed Star Wars, she's both the leads, and she happens to be a they in real life.
Yeah.
You know what they need to do, Coach? They need to have her back for season 2. That'll fix it. Let's bring her back for season 2.
That'll make it better.
What season 2?
Yeah, season 2. That's so
Can you imagine
funny.
if they came out and said, we've greenlit Acolyte season 2?
They did.
Did they say that?
Leslie Headland talked about season 2. They were already.
But no, I'm talking about like an official green light.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if they came out and said this thing has been green light before the series is. Holy smokes!
Remember, DA, things can be greenlit and never come to fruition. It is Lucasfilm. Just doesn't really mean anything at all.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. In development, also doesn't necessarily mean it's really being developed.
Yeah.
They're gonna need a
why
whole.
Why can't they all be like Daisy Ridley and just be like, Daisy Ridley and all the heat she's taken, she still seems like a class act,
Daisy Ridley had one bad moment where she lashed out at the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I must have missed that. What was it?
It's ages ago now.
It was December of 21, I want to say. And she was in an interview, and she was talking about how it was the first time I had ever heard her like cursing. And she was like, fans walk up to you and say, the movie's just bad, And she's like, how effing rude. How effing rude. No, you don't take that personally, Daisy.
Right.
You don't take that.
Right.
Look, you are a professional. The movie's not good. It doesn't mean that your performance wasn't good. Maybe you had a character that was written terribly. You don't take that personally.
Yeah.
But that's the only time that she ever did that, where she was
everything
talking
else
about.
I've ever heard, she's clean. She's good.
She said 3 or 4 things in that interview about the hatred, the aggressiveness of the fandom, but she never did it again. And there was backlash. It was all over the news. Everybody was talking about it. We made a video about it. That was like an early video, way back. But she's never done that again. And the thing is like, I like her as a person. I don't hold that against her. I get it. Give people a chance to grow. I remember when I got my first head basketball coaching job in high school. I had just turned 30. I mean, a relative young head coach at the level that I was on. And, made some mistakes. And I thought to myself, as people were like wanting to get the pitchforks out, hey man, I'm 30 years old. Let me make a mistake and grow from it. Why are you expecting perfection? That's not about to happen, So anyways, let's keep rolling through these super chats, my friend.
Who's here? That junk man.
Do they ever sleep or eat or do the number 2? Oh my goodness. You respect my pronouns, Junkman. You can call me He-Man, Prince Adam, or Master of the Universe. Okay. Punk Vader 77, $5 super chat. The problem with Star Wars today is that the target audience is children now, and children don't like it. And you can't tell me anything about this show being made for children. What's fun about it?
According to Amandla, watch out for the youth. The youth's the future, Coach. Didn't you listen to the lyrics?
Yeah. Good luck with that, world.
But like I said, the children ain't watching.
That's exactly it. I'm like, how ironic for you to be like, she even said they're not viewing it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yes, you're naming the problem. You've lost the future.
When this youth is running the place, y'all let me know how it goes. Let's see. Pilgrim Media, $2. They are following Saul Alinsky's rule for radicals. I'm not familiar with that. You're going to let us know, Pilgrim Media.
Not either.
Thank you, though, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. T-Neil89, a.k.a. Dislikes Puns, $2. Another super chat. The name Filoni is pronounced Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger. I don't know. Look, these people are above our heads. I don't know. Look.
Arguably not hard to be, Coach. Not hard.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Thank you.
Kind of at the bottom of the barrel.
Thank you. Sutton Creek Productions, $5. I'm starting to become confused about the definition of the word creative. Yeah. And every other word. It's funny how words change meaning.
Well, Coach, creative, it depends on if you like it or not. If you like it, it's creative. If you don't like it, it's not creative.
Right.
It's all about perspective.
That's why the Filoni rules.
Yeah. Thank you, Sutton Creek. Toronto John, $5. Remember how Anakin blew up the Death Sun with Han Skywalker, his co-pilot Greedo, Jar Jar Fett, Scooby-Doo, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Pepper Ridge Farm does.
Oh, I want one of those cookies right now, the chocolate ones. Oh, those are so good. Those Pepper Ridge Farm.
Yep. Thank you, Toronto John, Rocky and Bullwinkle. Tom Klein, $5. Everyone, please put your rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The more we all participate, the closer we get to single digits. Great talk show. Thanks, guys. Our pleasure, Tom. Yeah, go over there. If you've not given your authentic, real, I'm not telling you to go make it a 1 out of 5. Go make it whatever you want. If you want to review it, do it. Absolutely. Thank you, Tom. Olaf with €2. I heard she copyright striking anyone who plays it. It's not a strike, but you do get copyright hit, which means they remove your monetization from that video.
Right.
So that is true, but the trick to getting around all that is you only play it for 12 seconds or less, and then you pause it, and then you talk, and then you get yelled at in the comments like I do for talking too much. But it's for the copyright. You don't want to get copyrighted. So, anyways, that's the trick, and that's the way that I did it. So she can't get me. Sorry, Amandla, you can't get this.
But she made it in 72 hours. Do we really think she put a copyright? I mean, you can't. Copyright is a real thing. You can't just say I'm copywriting you. You know what I mean?
I mean, how can she copyright something that she made on her laptop? And
something about it just feels
and posted
weird.
On Instagram. Like, does she really own that song? I don't know. Like,
well, it's just the way it works, right? You have to challenge it, and it's a thing.
Yeah.
I understand it's a whole thing, so it's easier to just snip it out or fix it. But I'm just saying, if you were to challenge it, then what's her copyright evidence?
Yeah. Well, Amandla, I know that you're attacking fans or channels who reviewed your song. I don't think that she copyrights anybody. I need to look further into this now, so don't run with this, guys. But I think there's evidence to suggest that she hasn't copyrighted anybody who has liked her song. But if you don't like it, she's
coming for you.
She's hitting you. Yep. She probably tried to hit mine because I was one of the first people to come out. But guess what, Amandla?
10 seconds.
Right there. Let's see. Willow performed significantly better than Acolyte and still got deleted from the dang platform. Yeah.
And you know
I don't
what?
think the Acolyte's going to get deleted. I don't think
no,
the
it
Acolyte
won't because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you know what? Willow was a better show.
I can't speak on that.
I watched the whole thing. Willow's a better show than the Acolyte.
Okay, I'm with you. I watched about half of the first episode and stopped. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was bad. I got to the third or fourth episode and I tapped out. I got to what was the episode where they played Enter Sandman at the end? I think I watched the following episode and then that was it.
Enter Sandman at the end of Willow?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, and then it started.
I think it was episode 3 or 4.
Well,
and they played Enter Sandman as their. It was like when they were walking up to, I think it was Bad Mortis Castle or something. It was so cringy.
So I'm going to say this. This is another one of those hot takes. DA's going to look at me like I grew a head. Willow aged horribly. I loved it as a kid. I could watch it today, just like Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren. I get it. But man, I mean, if you really look at it, not very good.
It isn't. I agree. But I have nostalgia for
I was totally expecting you to full out attack me on that one again.
Yeah, no, there's a nostalgia feeling to it when I watch it now, but nah. It's miles better than the show, though. Okay?
Yeah.
It's still miles better than the show, but yeah, it's not a great movie.
What was that movie? Like, it's still way better than Andy Dufresne. What is that?
Shawshank.
Yeah, it's way better than that movie. Oh, gosh.
What?
Willow
Moving
killed
on.
that movie. All right.
Moving on.
Creosote. I know I jacked that up. $5. Shameful on Disney to give twin roles to non-twins, being a bunch of didymorphic. I probably messed that up. Bigots is going to hurt their ESG score. I like it. Let's get them any way that we can. Thank you, brother, for that $5 super chat. Sutton Creek Productions with another $5. Humility is the path to enlightenment if you can rise above. Amen. Amen to that. I love it. I love some humility. I struggle with that sometimes. But
don't we all?
Yeah. Luke Daywalker. Heck yeah. $1.99. That's the Wesley Snipes version. Make it for families and you'll always have fans. Bro. 100% right. That's exactly right.
Look what's happening with Inside Out 2 now. Now that they figured out, we just need to make family movies for families at Pixar instead of trying to, put a same-sex kiss in Lightyear and all the other nonsense that they were doing. Let's just go back to kids. It seemed to work before. And oh wow, look, we're having so much success. It's the biggest movie of the summer so far. I mean, it might be $1 billion hit, the way it's going.
Yeah. And you know what we have to look forward to now? Inside Out 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You watch.
Hold the whole company up.
We're going to have the Inside Out, its cinematic universe before your very eyes.
Galaxy's Edge will close and it will be Inside Out Park.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
All right. Daniel Stenistam, 3-month member. Thank you, Daniel. First scene in the last episode with Osha and Jackie Lon looks like they are not on the same stage when filming. Camera behind the head. Can you confirm? I did not catch that. I think I was too wrapped up in the whole Jackie Lon was crushing on Osha and has sexual tension for her, according to Daphne King.
Yeah.
But no, I did not notice that at all. So can either one of you guys catch that?
I didn't catch it, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, I saw what they were saying. There were just these over-the-shoulder shots, that back and forth over the shoulder, in the most bland, terrible way to film something. That's what they did with that scene. Yeah, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. I don't know if that's what they did, but it looks like, it could have been.
Yeah.
Another famous scene where that happened is in Ahsoka, where Ezra comes back and says, "I'm home," to I'm blanking, when he comes home and sees what's her name on the Hera, and it pans to her and it pans to him. They didn't film that scene together.
You forgot Hera's name?
I did. I forgot Hera's name. Just
fake fan.
But yeah, that scene wasn't filmed together. They were separate.
Hera and Hera's butt were probably in 2 alternate locations too.
Oh, come on. You love. Come on.
CS with a $10 super chat. I actually kind of like Daisy Ridley as a person. The fact that KK trotted her out at the convention and put her on display pretending as if there is some kind of Rey movie happening is despicable.
I hope she got her money for that, irregardless of whether or not the movie is being made. I hope she got some money, put it in her pocket, and said, "You know what? I'll keep telling people I'm making it if it ever gets made, and if it doesn't, I won't tell them that anymore."
I think they had every intention on making the movie, but Star Wars is in such shambles right now, and these people did not think it would reach these levels. And it's so bad right now, Bob Iger is not about to sign off on you going and making a $200 million movie project when Star Wars is already losing them money hand over fist. Why would he greenlight all of 5 movies that you're announcing and saying that you're going to make? It's not going to happen.
He's put his money on Feige because he feels like Feige has a better chance of turning it around, and there is some evidence that may be happening.
Yeah. I would bet on Marvel any day of the week over Star Wars with Kathleen Kennedy. Now,
based on this, like $180 million you just burned up on this 14% show. Yeah, no, I'm not giving you another dime.
$180 million and you killed Kelnaka off screen.
Well, plus also they've got Deadpool and Wolverine, even though it's kind of not Marvel, but whatever. Right. They've got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out. It's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to ride that wave to the next thing. And so Feige can't screw it up.
Yeah.
Right. Iger's going to back him, and whatever KK does or doesn't do, Iger could care less.
Right.
Well, the next thing after Deadpool is Agatha.
Well,
I'm sure everybody's going to be excited. More witches, everybody. More witches. Should be fun.
I am positive I will not be watching.
Catherine Hahn is fun. I'm going to watch for Catherine
Hahn. Thank you, CS. Appreciate that. And then T-Neil89 again. The youth don't agree with her, though, Amandla Stenberg. I live in L.A. and had to interact with high school kids the other day at work. They all used woke as a pejorative. Yep. Very good. Very, very good. I got told, DA, did you see that message I sent you? I got told that the word woke is the new N-word. and that I just had to get the N word in, and I'm like, dude,
what?
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
people say the craziest stuff, man.
Yeah.
So
anything to shut you up, they gotta. That's what they gotta do. They gotta shut you up. So they'll try every tactic in the book, and I just laugh at them.
Well, look, we're going to give you guys this. Thank you so much for your patience. We appreciate it very much. As we always say here, we are you, our Echo-based network. May the force be with you. Thank you for your super chats, and welcome aboard to all of our new members. Let's look at some good Star Wars. All right, boys. So the Acolyte, 14%. It's not hit 13 yet. There's some controversy about Ki Adi Mundi.
I
mean, I think
there he is.
I think the controversy goes way beyond that. Nobody was saying it was him until the credits.
Yeah. Well, I looked at him. You know why? Because when we were watching, I looked at him and I kind of did a double take. And I was like, well, there's no way it's Ki Adi Mundi. It must be another Syrian, right? And then, of course, sure enough,
lo and behold,
I text you later, Coach. I was like, by the way, I looked at the credits. It was Ki Adi Mundi.
So this is what they keep doing to us. And if you remember, they did it in, was it Ahsoka? Yeah, it was Ahsoka, where they had Akbar in it with no spoken lines. Yes. He was just in the background.
And he was on the ship. He was also at Home 1 at the top. He still said nothing.
Yeah,
he was seated in the Senate chamber, and he was up top on
jangling them keys in front of you. But this one,
well, at least Akbar could have been alive, right? I mean, it wasn't a misplaced Akbar. He just didn't say anything.
This is true. This is true. But yeah. So, anyways, and then everybody has this whole freak out about Wikipedia. Look, Wikipedia sucks. Don't let them be any type of Star Wars authority. The people who were responsible for putting pronouns on Luke Skywalker as a they. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
That's when y'all got blocked.
They did it. They made him non-binary.
They blocked me. They've blocked me before.
They blocked me too.
Yeah, I think they blocked everybody.
Yep. And then we have this Fallout miss here, Amandla Stenberg and her music video where she apparently is replying to the racist online who hate her and the Acolyte and all that stuff, I guess. I get whatever her motivations were. It has been quite the week with Acolyte. And you know what nobody's talking about? What's happening in the story, where it's going. Nobody cares.
Now the latest rumor is people have analyzed Smilo Ren, the hand gesture, and they're saying it's Indira's character. Right now they're saying it's Carrie-Anne Moss come back to roost. Now it's Carrie-Anne Moss under the mask.
But is it not Manny Jacinto's character?
I believe it to be. Right, but this is
so obvious though.
Well, and that's just
so obvious that maybe they're trying to say, oh, it's not him. It can't be him because we've made it too obvious. He's just a red herring. Don't pay any attention to him. But then they're going to spin it around and make it him anyway. I don't know. It's a mystery. We're supposed to be trying to figure out who that person is. And it's supposed to be somebody that we've seen. I've seen like it's one of the two mothers, because we didn't see the one. We saw the Anastasia mom right at the end. Dead, but we didn't see the other mom. I don't think
the white horny mother.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, white and horny. Yep.
I'm talking about her head. Okay. All right, everybody.
Oh, that's what you were talking. Oh, okay. I got
you. the white horny mother. She was all about OSHA was too nice. She wanted to be more like me, more embracing aggression.
Yeah.
It makes sense from a story component for it to be her.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people say it's Anastasia, and it's
that's
not
why
her.
I don't think it will be, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
But the way the last guy, and I was peeping this out because I haven't seen the episode again, but the way that the Khmer, I think that's his name, the way he was acting, you know, throughout that episode 4, it just seemed like, you know, it's too obvious. And then he's on the planet, and then he's hung upside down, and then, you know, she takes off to turn herself into Kelnaka, and then suddenly this, you know, the guy appears, and it's like, I don't know. It just seems too convenient. And I hope that their level of storytelling is not that bad, but I mean, you know, that's where we are. You know, it feels like he's supposed to be the red herring character in a mystery that, you know, it's got to be him, and then it's not him at all. It feels like that. If you watch a lot of murder mysteries, there's always one guy. It just seems like that's the guy or that's the girl that's doing all of the murders, and then it turns out to be somebody else that you didn't expect, you know, and whatever. So that's what this guy feels like. So that's why I'm saying it's not him. But honestly, I could care less. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. I don't.
Whether it's him or not, I still don't understand the point of the story. Try as much as I can. I don't understand the point of the story. It's certainly not about the Sith. So let's just get that out of the way right now. Right? I don't know how we call this a Sith story anymore, or how we ever did to begin with. Right? And if it's about the sisters, okay, but I don't get it. What's the point? What's their end game?
Like, Risman, this show seems to have nothing to say. Like, what is it trying to say?
100%.
What is this show trying to be about? You know, like it just feels like it's empty calories. It's just stuff to put out there on the screen to sell, you know, to say, hey, we did Star Wars, you know, here's a murder mystery, but it doesn't seem to be speaking to anything at all, you know.
Maybe the point is don't try and kill your sister at a young age. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not picking up on any themes. You know, yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe it could have something to do with family. I don't know. It's just not coming through in the writing, you know.
I mean, we don't have a hero's journey. This seems to be at its heart. This seems to be a story of misunderstanding, right? This whole story is born out of the fact that each sister thought the other one's dead, right? And they're reacting to that death in two very different ways. Okay, so what?
Yeah. I mean, we know that Leslie Headland was working out some problems or whatever that she had. I guess she had sister problems when she was coming up. And so a lot of that stuff is informing this series, you know. So maybe this is Leslie Headland. Like I said, this is just Leslie Headland's therapy session as she's trying to work out her, you know, sister issues, you know, a la Frozen, you know, trying to work out some sister issues that she had with her sister. But it doesn't feel like it's saying anything beyond that. And I don't really care about Leslie Headland's problems with her family. You know, get on a couch somewhere and talk all of that out. Quit ruining Star Wars with your family issues. I don't see any purpose to this, you know, whatsoever. And it's like I said, it's just not speaking to the fan base. It's not speaking, you know, to what we expect out of Star Wars. So just kind of empty calories, man.
So I got to tell you, the thing that bothers me the most is this guy right here.
There is a resemblance, Coach. Now that you put the picture.
Oh.
I see where they were coming from.
So, I mean, doesn't it bother you guys that they said that they were so proud to say that this was the gayest Star Wars ever, and then they have a gerbil in the show?
No, it's not right. That's not right, Coach. It's not right.
Did you hear about the guy that went to the doctor?
Oh, no.
He walked in and said, Doc, I got a cat in my ass. I need it removed. So the doctor removes the cat. He goes back the next day. Doc, I got a cat in my ass. I'm sorry. I got to get it out. He takes the cat out of his ass. A third day again. He walks in. The doctor says, why do you keep getting a cat in your ass? And the guy says, how else am I supposed to get the gerbil out?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Whew. Yep.
Oh, Lord help.
Yep.
Sorry. Anyway.
We forgive you, man. It's all right.
Yeah. Super Chats. Fix Bayonets. 1993 Space Rangers is better than the Acolyte. Let's get some love for Space Above and Beyond, a show that needs a reboot. Never seen it. Never seen. Either of you guys ever seen that?
I think I have seen it. It rings a bell.
No.
No, but hey, I can dig it. Anything's better than this. You know, there are only 12 shows in the history of Rotten Tomatoes that have a 0 average. Do you know what the percentage points really mean, guys?
No.
14% means what? 14% gave it a rotten? Essentially, yes. What it means is that only 14% of the audience reviews scored it a 3.5 or above.
Interesting.
That's what it means.
Wow.
And 86% gave it a 3 or less.
Interesting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's what that means. If you think about it that way, it's even worse.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it even worse. Thank you, Fix Bayonets, for that. We appreciate it. Sutton Creek Productions with another $2 super chat. Brain damage is fun. Brain damage. May the fork be with you. That worked really well on me. Thanks, brother. And then John Phillips, latest YouTube member. Welcome to the member family, my friend. We appreciate that very, very much. It's been a long time since I've seen Mallrats. Probably since it was new. Or no, not new, but like 2000-ish. It's been 20-something years since I've seen it. So that's back in the day when I liked Kevin Smith movies. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is one of the greatest movies ever told.
Oh, man. Jay and Silent Bob is phenomenal, man.
Yes.
Dogma's great. You know, the original Clerks.
Chasing
Clerks
Amy.
2, Chasing Amy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Those were the days, man, when Kevin Smith wasn't a complete moron.
Yep.
Yeah. It's before his crying phase.
But Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, man. That's
the best, man.
Ooh.
Morris Day and the mother.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
I love that. I love that.
So good.
Man.
So good. You know, I use some Morris Day music on some of the videos that we make.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you've ever caught that.
Heard it.
Okay. All right. All right, everybody. Well, look, that's going to wrap it up as far as the first half of the show goes. Even though we've been going 2.5 hours. Now we're going to switch it over to a members-only stream. So if you're not a member, thank you so much for being here with us this entire time. We are going to go ahead and switch it over to a members-only stream, and we're going to allow our grandmasters and masters to join us here on Pop In so you can tell us what you thought about the Acolyte and all of this mess going on. Before we do that, Jake Skywalker with $1.99. I am no longer the most hated thing in Star Wars. You're right. Well, I don't know.
Listen, I've heard a lot of people, not a lot, but I've heard some people say they'd rather watch the sequel trilogy than watch the Acolyte.
I agree.
I would too.
I agree.
That's saying a lot.
That's so crazy.
That's saying a lot,
That's so crazy. And it's not just one reason. The Acolyte's just bad any way you look at it. You know, there aren't a whole lot of positives or any.
Man.
CWSB, $1.99. Need a fight with Amandla twerking the Jedi.
Oof.
Discourse.
No. We're not doing it.
Sorry. My bad.
And then, Coach, I seen this from Thrawn. I just wanted to address, sadly, this is true.
It is.
Mel Brooks and Josh Gad are going to ruin Spaceballs.
Yeah.
No need for Spaceballs 2. We're already getting a Star Wars parody. We get Star Wars parody every Tuesday.
Really, real talk, man.
So,
yeah.
Very interesting times, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys. Look, we're going to go ahead and switch it over. Let me, Mr. Producer Man, if you would go ahead and end it on Twitter. Can you do that?
Will. I can.
And I am going to go in. Nick is always the one that does this, and he's like, boom, fast. You don't even know he's doing it, but I will get this done. Bear with me just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. And seriously, thank you all for being here as we're switching it over to just a member stream for the rest of the way. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. I'm switching it over now. As we always say here, we are You Are Echo Base Network. May the George Lucas 1977 to 2012 force be with you, and we'll see you on the next one. We'll be here Tuesday night for more Acolyte live stream. Can't wait, ladies and gentlemen. Leslie Headland's favorite episode coming up.
I know. Can't wait.
All right, guys. Switching over to members. See you guys. Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.